Urbanisation in South Africa. The first permanent European settlers arrived in South Africa in 1652. They built a settlement in the Cape to supply food and water to passing ships. This led to the first urban settlement in South Africa developing around the harbour in Cape Town. The discovery of diamonds in 1867 and gold in 1886 brought prospectors from different parts of the world to the interior of South Africa to seek their fortunes. People moved to these areas in search of work, and urban settlements sprang up in mining towns such as Kimberley and Johannesburg. Roads and railway lines were built from the interior to the closest harbours, Durban, East London and Port Elizabeth. These two became urban settlements as the harbours also offered work opportunities. South Africa became a union in 1910, and soon the first racial policies were introduced. In 1913, the Native Land Act was passed, which reserved land ownership of 90% of the land for white people. In 1948, the nationalist government came into power and introduced the policy of apartheid and the Group Areas Act, which forced different race groups to live in separate areas. Mixed race areas were not allowed. Often physical barriers, known as buffer zones, such as railway lines, roads, rivers, divided the race groups. This segregation greatly influenced the shape of our cities. Professor Davies drew up an urban model of an apartheid city. The better developed areas were reserved for white population. Black residential areas were often on the outskirts of urban settlements or close to industrial areas. For example, Soweto in Johannesburg, Gugulethu in Cape Town, and Umlazi in Durban. The nationalist government forced many people to move from their homes, for example, from Sophiatown in Johannesburg and from District 6 in Cape Town. Although there are no longer laws segregating people, the legacy remains. South African cities still have characteristics of the apartheid city. In recent years, many people have flocked to the cities in search of work. This has led to the development of informal settlements in many urban areas due to a shortage of housing.
Need more help? Subscribe to our channel or dive into our expert textbooks and get that learning edge.